I'm Bob Franken. I now realize that I have known far too little about Romania. The reason I know that now is because I just finished reading Dracula is Dead. It's a book by some longtime friends of mine. Jim Rosapep is the former ambassador to Romania during the Clinton years, and Sheila Kast, who is a longtime television colleague of mine. And I have to ask, why? Why did you call it that?
Because Dracula is a myth, and Americans have an extraordinary ranges of myths about Romania.
Well, there's a lot about Romania that I certainly didn't understand, starting with the fact that it had this real Russian tradition. That's not the case, is it?
They like to call themselves an island of Latins in a sea of Slavs. And it's not just the language, but the temperament of the people seems to be Latin too.
Well, what's intriguing, one of the themes of your book was how Romania was mishandled after World War II, and nobody ever came to the rescue of Romania, and they kept on thinking that somebody would.
If you're an American in Romania, you probably aren't there more than a day or so before somebody smiles at you and says, "We've been waiting for you for 50 years.
Well, there's an interesting story about that, too, that expression, "we've been waiting for you."
Başlaptım, we're waiting for you. It's just an expression of, it'll be better when we're together. We can't wait until we're together again. It's an aspiration, and it's very warm and gentle. It's not an admonition.
It's, in effect, oh, I've missed you.
Exactly,
Yeah,
absolutely.
But it means a little bit something different, doesn't it?
It does, but what's interesting, there's no question that at the end of World War II, many Romanians were expecting, hoping that the Americans would come. So there was a disappointment. But what's so extraordinary in Romania is after 50 years, after 4 decades and a half of communism, Romanians are incredibly pro-American.
Well, the other thing that was intriguing is what happened after the fall.
They had to take the window of opportunity after the fall of communism to tie themselves to the West. So they aggressively wanted to become members of NATO, aggressively wanted to become members of the European Union.
Comes the question, why would somebody want to read this book? Why, in fact, are people really at home saying, well, you know, I don't know enough about Romania? And that brings me to the tradition that persists in Romania about hand kissing.
What it was and what it is all reflect Romania's attention to the West. Now, in 21st century, it's not done in the West, and Romanians, so attentive to the West, are doing less and less of it. What they do is it's embedded in the language, and so the greeting of a man to a woman is most often, "Sărut mâna," I kiss your hand.
But why did you write this book?
We were so eager to share with other Americans how interesting the place is, how much progress it's made, and how much fun it is. We just felt we had been privileged to meet so many interesting Romanians and have so many conversations, and we're dying to share it.
You don't go visit for a few minutes with somebody there. It's really hard to leave, no matter what your schedule is.
Oh, it's very hard to leave. And in fact, when they visited North America, it seemed cold because people here arrange to get together. In Romania, if you have to call your friend first, then how good a friend are you? You should just be able to drop in.
So I guess the question that I would ask at the end is your prediction about the future of Romania.
There's no question Romania came out of communism 20 years ago in worse shape than most of the other Soviet satellites in Eastern Europe. But they've also come farther in a shorter period of time. And you see that in terms of, in the last decade, they grew faster for 4 years than any other country in Europe, East or Western Europe. And time is on the side of the young people, as it is in every country in the world.
And that really is part of why we say Dracula is dead, because Romania had been occupied or under the oppression of other empires for most of its history. All of those old ghosts, I think, are dead. And that's what we mean by Dracula is dead.
The book is called Dracula is Dead. I highly recommend it.